5 years ago today, I woke up nervous as shit because the day had finally come. It was time for me to move from the little town in Kentucky I had lived in my whole life across the world to Germany. That morning that I woke up, I remember it was a Tuesday. I literally could barely freaking eat at all. And I just was dreading saying goodbye to my family. My sister, who is a teacher, surprised me by showing up at my house with my mom to drive me and drop me off at the airport, which you'd think would be oh my gosh, how cool. But I actually was fuck, okay, this is another person that I need to say goodbye to in the moment. When it was actually time for me to leave and depart them at the airport, I literally did not even physically say goodbye. I just took my suitcases and wheeled off and ran away because I couldn't get those words out of my mouth. I couldn't physically do it. When I was all through the airport, I sat myself down at this wine bar and literally ordered a flight of wine because needed that emotionally, but also just was okay, I want to celebrate. I had visited Germany before. This wasn't I was moving across the world and had never been there. I had taken a couple trips to Germany. My boyfriend, now husband, had gone with him a few times to visit his family, but at this point of moving, we had been long distance for a year and a half or so. So I was also very excited to be seeing him again, excited to start this new life that I had been dreaming of since I was a little girl. I had always wanted to live in Europe, so I truly believe I manifested this for myself. Found myself a European man in fucking Kentucky and bitch moved. I didn't speak any German at the time either. I wasn't signed up for any German classes or anything. I didn't have anything set in stone with the visa or stuff. I just was okay, I'm gonna get there. I'll figure it all out then. This was end of February 2020 when this happened. Less than 2 weeks after I arrived, the border shut down because of COVID. So it was an interesting time to be moving. I remember getting on the airplane and there was freaking hardly no one on the airplane, but I was so excited that I had a whole row and all this space to myself. And little did a bitch know what was to come. Obviously, there's a lot more logistically in details and visa-wise and all these things that went into it. Also, that made it a lot more difficult once I was here because of the time that we currently were going through and everything was completely shut down. Honestly, I'm not even gonna get into that. If you wanna know what happened once I left the US and then got into Germany, let me know.